so many candidates in the interview say, that's a good question. Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. And they will say this after every interview question. Sure, you might get one interview question in your session that is truly mind-bending. But most of the time when we actually say this, it is a nervous tick, something we're using to buy time. It's actually subconsciously sending the signal that you are not an authentic person.
Madeline Mann is the top job search instructor on LinkedIn and Spotify and offers tips to her 1 million followers at the handle Self-Made Millennial.
Her new book is Reverse the Search, How to Turn Job Seeking into Job Shopping. She says the old job advice you've been told before is all wrong, and Madeline joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So there must be one big thing that holds up from the days when Robin and I were looking for jobs, and one big thing that does not. What are those?
Okay, so one big thing that necessarily doesn't hold up is one of the worst things to happen to the job search process is just the onslaught of more and more online applications.
Mm-hmm.
And even we heard in the last few years, Ashby came out with a report that said from 2021 to 2024, online applications have tripled. And so what we really need to move away from is this pushing so many mass applications out there, because that is not how you stand out. You really want to have a more customized approach and make sure you're measuring your job search in connections versus applications. And then what is the same is that you're still landing jobs because of 3 reasons: timing, connection with the interviewers, and competency.
And talk about interviewing. What are people doing wrong? What's the biggest mistake they're making in interviews?
One of the things that is so important to realize is that so many of us have autobiography syndrome, where we tend to talk a lot about our personal story and all of the amazing things that made us who we are. And oftentimes we're not thinking in the mind of the employer. And that is really tough because we're sitting in the bottle and we can't read the label. We are so close to our own story. And so what's really important about going job shopping and reversing the job search is to get out of the bottle, read the label yourself, and see your experience for only the most important things that the company needs to know, not your whole career story.
Meaning, what traits help them make money?
Yes. How do you solve their challenges? How do we make sure that you're only talking about those specific skill sets that you've learned in past jobs? Your past job may have had so many different responsibilities, but if your next role is only focused on social media marketing and you did tons of other aspects of your role in your previous role, and only 10% of it was on social media marketing, you're going to spend 100% of your time in the interview and on your resume speaking about social media marketing.
You say there's a way to reverse a rejection. If you feel a rejection is coming on in an interview, how do you do that?
So it's not necessarily that you reverse it in the moment. You could potentially, there's ways that you can send them really great work samples or even projects that you've created that are in line with what the company's looking for. That could potentially sway them. But what people don't realize is that when a company rejects you, there's still a high likelihood that they will hire you either soon or in the future. And so if you can be that person who shows in a time where things aren't going well for you, you're being rejected, if you rise above it, if you continue to show interest and you continue to build that relationship, companies say, well, we just actually opened up a hire role that actually is even better fit for your skill sets. Let's bring that person back in.
Yeah.
Or we're growing this team further. Let's have you interview for these other roles. And so I think that too many people see a rejection as a shut door.
Yeah. You talk about connection is more important than application, but this generation spends far more time communicating online than in person. So what are some tips for networking effectively?
I completely endorse most or all of your networking to be online, because you can have a little bit more of a sniper approach versus a shotgun approach where you walk into a giant conference hall and you don't even know who to talk to. But nowadays you have LinkedIn, where you can see who works where, what is their role, where is their location. And so networking isn't about knowing people, it's about noticing people. So if you have a tiny network or no network at all, if you're taking time to notice what is these people's career paths, what have they written online, articles, anything like that, and engaging in meaningful conversation. And one of the strategies I mention in the book is called 60 Seconds of Value, where you're adding small, impactful actions of helpfulness. And that can really help build a relationship to where you don't feel like a taker.
So are you like sending them a message on LinkedIn? I mean, how do you might see this person that you want to connect with, but how do you start a relationship online with a person you don't know?
Sure. It could be on mentioned on LinkedIn. It could be an email you send them. It could also be if someone's posting on LinkedIn or X or something like that, and it's a little bit more work related, commenting on those things, engaging with it. People notice when others are engaging with their content. So that can be really great. Or potentially you are part of a professional network. You bring in speakers. Why don't you strategically only bring in speakers who you want to meet? So now you're giving them a personal branding opportunity and you get to talk to them. So finding these ways of, it's kind of this win-win way of possibly offering them opportunities to be in maybe an article that you're writing or whatnot, posting on your blog. And so just finding these ways that you can meet people that they find beneficial to them and can really make for a more warm introduction.
Well, the book is Reverse the Search, How to Turn Job Seeking into Job Shopping. For more, you can check out reversethesearch.com or go to Madeline's sites and socials. Thanks, Madeline.
Thank you.